Good evening, everyone. I'm Deon Guillory, and we do start with that breaking news tonight. Fire crews have been working for hours to put out a transformer fire at a utility substation. And now, right now, we have nearly 3,500 Dominion Virginia Power customers who are in the dark right now. And I just talked to a spokesman with the company who says crews are working to switch customers to circuits that will help get the lights back on. And they tell me there is no specific timetable, but he tells me they are hoping to have that done sometime this evening. And I'm Deon Guillory. It's been a fight lasting all week, and it will drag on through the weekend, but we just got word that some state lawmakers believe this bill is dead on arrival. Still no word tonight from Republican State Senators Mark Obenshain and Emmett Hanger on why they voted for the redistricting. If the bill passes, Hanger's district would be affected in the 2015 election. Take a look at this map provided exclusively to News 3 by Democratic consultant Kenton Nago. Under the new map, Hanger would share Augusta County with Democrat Cree Deeds. That's shown in the biggest section of green on your screen. The new district that Deeds and Hanger would share is more than half of Hanger's current constituents, just one of several districts that will become more heavily Republican. Governor Bob McDonnell has said he's surprised by the new political map, but hasn't said if he would sign the legislation. The vote in the evenly divided Senate came on Monday when Democratic Senator and longtime civil rights leader Henry Marsh left town on Martin Luther King Jr. Day to attend President Obama's inauguration. The move being mocked by Stephen Colbert, calling Senate Republicans his alpha dogs of the week.
I have been to the mountaintop, and while I was there, they heavily redistricted the promised land.
So here's that map again. You want to look up here. Here you can see our legend, and everything in green is what will the new map is going to look like. Everything in red up here is for Hanger. Everything in blue down here is for Deeds. And they meet in the middle here in Augusta County. This is where they're going to share, and it's going to give Hanger an advantage since he represents the heavy GOP district already at this moment. Now, the House is expected to take up the bill on Tuesday, but someone in State Senator Obenshain's office tells me the senator believes it's not going anywhere, although he voted in favor of it. We will continue to make calls to find out why he voted in favor of the bill. New at 11, the show is on the road. The White House's campaign to gain public support for its wide-ranging gun control proposals kicked off here in Virginia. VP Joe Biden seemed to keep the discussion focused on background checks. That seems to be the most likely of Obama's 4 major legislative proposals to garner bipartisan support. As ABC's Mark Greenblatt reports, there are plenty of people pushing for the right to carry guns in some unexpected places. 2 of JMU's professors will receive the 2013 Outstanding Faculty Award. Laura Tallman and Olga Pericos are 2 of a dozen faculty members from Virginia colleges and universities selected for the recognition. They will all be honored next month. The State Council of Higher Education for Virginia will give each of them a $5,000 check.
Really to tell.
Still quite a warm-up, though. Where's the pool party?
Yeah, I know, right? Bathing suit weather, 60s.
All right, thank you.
But first, his job was to get more visitors at Frontier Culture Museum, but the company took a loss of $40 grand. Hear where that cash went and the charges he's facing in 2.5 minutes.
The Frontier Culture Museum, known for its history and beautiful exhibits.
But police say an employee tried to use it as his bank account, and tonight that man is in jail. Virginia State Police investigators accuse former marketing director Michael Sutton of misusing a company credit card. He reportedly charged nearly $40,000 worth of goods for his own personal use. Sutton is charged with 10 felonies and 9 misdemeanors. A grand jury will hear the case in May.
A unique Stanton basketball tournament is getting some attention this weekend.
And it's the 61st annual Mason-Dixon tournament, and all the players are deaf. Hundreds of players from 11 different states are in the valley to find out who's the best. The tournament started in 1953 as a way to get the students interacting. It also allowed them to see how other players handled their disability. Coaches we talked to say the game is played the same. There are just a few minor tweaks.
You learn to play the game. And the thing I encourage the kids to do is you play until someone stops you. So they learn rather quickly, don't trust what you think's going on, wait till someone stops you.
Great advice there. All the games played during the Mason-Dixon tournament are streaming online. There's a link you can go to on our web channel at WHSV.com. And a fight escalates to gunfire, shutting down a college campus earlier this week. New details tonight on the cause and who police say is the trigger man. A so-called adolescent confrontation is what a sheriff's deputy says led to the shooting at a Texas community college on Tuesday.
And tonight, both men involved are in jail.
A Texas man is alive tonight, and 5 heroes are being credited with his survival. The man drove his SUV into this Dallas lake, and it sank. 3 police officers were honored for helping break the car's sunroof and pulling that man from the lake. 1 also performed CPR. The Dallas Police Department also honored 2 joggers who were running by when the accident happened. They called 911 while trying to help free the driver. Police blame the accident on a medical problem. The driver's doctors say he doesn't remember a thing about the accident or the heroics that followed. Anti-abortion activists held their annual March for Life event in Washington.
Our nation is adrift in a wilderness where right and wrong have become subservient to a hedonism of the moment.
The march coincides with the week's 40th anniversary of the Roe v. Wade Supreme Court decision. It upheld a woman's right to an abortion. The High Court made that ruling on January 22, 1973. Demonstrators rallied at the National Mall with politicians and religious leaders before marching to the steps of the Supreme Court. And marching up here, good old Deon.
Yeah, lots of marching. On a snowy day in January, baseball, it's back.
Inside for them.
Inside for them. Yeah, why UVA would pick to practice outside on the turf in the snow, they must not have had any other options.
It makes you tough,
Cold.
Darren.
Yeah, it builds strength.
Heat wave.
All right, that's it for us. Jimmy Kimmel is next, and you can always catch us online, WHSV.com.
We'll see you. Have a good weekend.
New details tonight on changes at Harrisonburg City Schools. Winter break is over and classes start tomorrow, and your kids will see a few new faces on campus. Right now, Harrisonburg police looking for the suspect in an armed robbery. It happened just a couple of hours ago at Midtown Market on West Water Street. New details tonight on a garage fire in Churchville that sent 2 men to the hospital. One of those men is home tonight and is fueling a feud with the fire department. Take a look at this cell phone video of the fire. The 2013 session of the General Assembly starts Wednesday, and Virginia lawmakers have several bills they want to make law. Joining me now to talk about this and what we can expect is Dr. Bob Roberts, political analyst. And right now, students are returning to the city for the start of the new semester, many of them moving into new places, not knowing the safety concerns. WHSV News 3's Stephanie Escobar has a story new at 11. And Stephanie, some people are moving into an apartment complex where a murder happened less than 3 weeks ago. What are they saying about this? New at 11, Shenandoah County Schools reevaluating security on campuses, and you can have a say in what happens. To that fight the deputy was responding to, I talked to the sheriff's office about it, and a dispatcher tells me that at least 6 people were involved.
Okay, so
I'm looking forward to my days off, so this is going to be great. I have no excuse to not be
You lucked
outside.
out this week.
Yeah.
Usually I feel really terrible when I tell Deon it's going to rain on Monday and Tuesday, so hey.
I sleep in, so.
Yeah, well-
We start tonight with a developing story. Harrisonburg police are investigating a deadly shooting. It happened early this morning on Port Republic Road, and we just found out the victim is this man, 19-year-old Ben Gressel. New at 11, a man is in the hospital tonight after losing control of his car and hitting a house. And neighbors say it's an intersection plagued with car crashes. Right now, the temperature outside makes it feel more like April than December. And for some businesses, this warmer weather is just not helping. We continue our team coverage of this warmer temperature here in the Weather Center with meteorologist Amelia Namias. And Amelia, it was a beautiful day today, but it's not going to last. And right now, gun owners across the nation are rallying and saying, hands off my guns. Today is the first ever Gun Appreciation Day, and it's in direct response to President Obama's proposal of 23 executive orders to curb gun violence. Right now, Waynesboro police trying to figure out who's responsible for a double stabbing that sent 2 men to the hospital. Talking to that man right now to find out more about what happened. But if you know anything that can help them, you're asked to call Crime Stoppers. The number right there on your screen. It's 1-800-322-2017. Right now, it is the first night of President Barack Obama's second term in office. He's resting up for what will be a long day of celebrating. The president will be sworn in a second time tomorrow. He took the oath of office today because the Constitution requires the president begin his term on January 20th. And that big ceremony is going to be tomorrow. Live tonight, Brandy Hitt in Washington with what we can expect tomorrow. Brandy. Now, whatever the crowd, President Obama will tie a record taking the oath 4 times. Now, the flubbed one 4 years ago and a redo the next day. today's official oath and a ceremonial one tomorrow. New at 11, the president inauguration coincides with the Martin Luther King Jr. holiday, and neighbors here in the Valley are keeping his legacy alive. And because of the Martin Luther King Jr. holiday, city offices will be closed tomorrow. Don't want to hear that, but also you have the detailed information about this in the blog.
Absolutely.
New at 11, some of the Valley's best writers were honored today at VFW Post 2216 in Stanton. The winners of the annual youth essay writing contest got their awards today. New at 11, political junkies love the inauguration for its historical significance, but in fashion, everyone wants to know, who will Michelle Obama be wearing Inauguration Day? We'll just have to see what she's going to wear for the inauguration. The First Lady will not be wearing clothes off the rack. We can pretty safely say these are made to measure, one-of-a-kind garments commissioned by the White House. And very fashionable Brooks Wagler is here. Guns like this 9mm are some of the most popular, and its magazine that comes with it is constantly sold out. Cold, hard snow means cold, hard cash for tow truck drivers. Thermometer here, I'm going to test the pavement here in this parking lot where we are, and it's registering about 30 degrees. I would show you, but the print is really small, so you won't be able to see it on camera. You guys at home, don't be alarmed. I'm wearing these sunglasses for a purpose. These or what a lot of people are going to be wearing on Friday when they come out here to hear Congressman Ryan speak. When you think of Mace, you think of something like this, something small and compact where you can put it in your pocket and it goes about 10 feet. But this teacher's proposing something much bigger than this. There are a lot of people who aren't happy with the setup here. Take a look behind me. You can see it's pretty dark behind me. There's not a lot of light, and I'm trying to help show you what it looks like here with the help of this trusty flashlight. When he is about to go to sleep here at the jail because lights out is at 11 o'clock. But for everyone else who's staying up tonight to watch this newscast, Lisa wants you to know the real Dallas Chaplain. Police are here looking for what's believed to be a murder suspect. I'm going to get out of the way, set the scene up for you. Take a look behind me. You see a light with some Christmas decorations on what seems to be a pole. The house behind that is where police are concentrated on, because once you go through these doors, you're forced to go straight to the office. Not a lot of snow, and what did come down isn't really sticking. I'm going to show you why. I got a little electronic thermometer here. I'm going to test the pavement here in this parking lot where we are, and it's registering about 30 degrees. I would show you, but the print is really small, so you won't be able to see it on camera. But what you can see is if you look behind me right here, you can see snow on the grass here, but if you look in the distance, there is no snow on the roads. It's just really wet. And if you have to come out tonight, you have to be very careful on those roads, on those very wet roads. Now, take a look at some video that we shot just a couple of hours ago. Snow on the grass and some on trees and bushes, the same situation in this area. But because it's warm, it's all melting. Although this snowstorm didn't happen the way we thought it would, some people did take precautions by getting off the roads and checking into hotels, helping these businesses boost the bottom line.
Well, most of them have come in really early in the day to get in before it gets worse. So there's been, it definitely was busy earlier in the day than it usually is.
And so not much snow did come down, but a lot of people were taking precautions. And if you look behind me here, you can see a utility truck in this parking lot, just one of 3 of them here. Another precaution just in case there were power outages because of the snow, but that was not an issue. But what could be an issue is the wet roads refreezing overnight, causing black ice. Live in Waynesboro, I'm Deon Guillory for WHSV News 3. That woman's name is Lisa Brown. Her son is best friends with murder suspect Dallas Chaplain. He is about to go to sleep here at the jail because lights out is at 11 o'clock. But for everyone else who's staying up tonight to watch this newscast, Lisa wants you to know the real Dallas Chaplain. Police say this is the face of a killer, but those in Dallas Chaplin's inner circle say he's anything but.
He is the most well-mannered, well-liked. He is he's got a heart of gold.
Lisa Brown's son is best friends with Chaplain.
Out of all my son's friends, he's my favorite kid.
These are pictures given exclusively to News 3 by Chaplin's sister. Brown says Chaplin's parents divorced. He had trouble with the law as a child, but turned his life around. Got a job in his own place. But she says the image some people have of him is all wrong.
Dallas is not a cold-blooded killer.
Chaplain is accused of killing Ben Gressel early Sunday morning. Brown says she talked to Chaplain after the incident, and he explained that it was all in self-defense.
He said that he was involved in an altercation. There was a fight with him and his friend and the deceased. And he said that there was a knife drawn from the deceased and that he whatever, he issued a threat to Dallas, and then Dallas got scared and he shot him.
Brown says she told Chaplin to surrender, but she says the 19-year-old felt that he didn't stand a chance.
I mean, it was a college boy, and then, you know what I'm saying, a delinquent. I mean, basically, that's how he was looking at it.
Now, Brown just wants to make sure Chaplin gets a fair trial.
Now, I love him like he's my own son, and I will fight for him like he's my own son.
Now, Lisa says that Chaplin does have an attorney, and he's expected to be back in court in February. Live in Harrisonburg, I'm Deon Guillory for WHSV News 3.
The 45, which is made by Kimber, is a 45 ACP.
For April Dovell, guns are a way of life.
So you're a gun girl.
I am a gun girl.
But this petite woman with huge knowledge about guns is having a hard time finding the ammo she needs.
Just a 22, Ruger 1022, just we go out and plink around with it at the gun range. We cannot find ammo for that anywhere.
April and her boyfriend are regular customers at Ashby Arms. Owner Dennis Golden is having a hard time keeping ammunition on his store's shelves. He says it's been this way since last month's shooting at Sandy Hook Elementary School.
The ammo that's flying off the shelf is directly proportionate related to the guns that are flying off the shelves.
Guns like this 9mm are some of the most popular, and its magazine that comes with it is constantly sold out. Because of that, Ashby Arms has had to put a limit on the number of boxes of bullets customers can buy.
Your self-defense handguns, your self-defense rifles, the ammunition for all these things is in short supply and high demand.
Golden says shipments are taking 2 weeks, up from the usual few days. Dovell says she understands.
But it's frustrating, when you just want things to be back to normal.
John, the road is clear right now. You can see that it is also wet, but this cold, hard snow means cold, hard cash for tow truck drivers, and they're the group that's ready for you if you take the wrong turn.
It's been crazy. I believe this makes number 17 for us today.
That's more than double an average day for David Phelps. He's a tow truck driver at Keys Towing in Bridgewater, the big number due to the snow.
It's supposed to be a vehicle down over an embankment.
Phelps has been a tow truck driver for 3 years. This JMU grad says it's the challenge of not knowing what's next that keeps him going. But he tells me there is also a dark side.
You've always seen, fatalities and that kind of deal. Towing sometimes isn't so pretty.
After a short ride,
we'll sit right here.
We get to call number 17. The driver of this Pontiac lost control and ended up stuck in a ditch. David gets to work.
I'm gonna go ahead and start hooking it up while we're waiting on the wrecker.
With his chains, he hooks them onto the car, getting down into the snow and even the water in the ditch.
It is definitely a dirty job. Cold and wet too.
David has a strategy to get the car out.
Get them out the same way they went in.
The wrecker arrives and now it's time to pull the car out of the ditch. Once that happens, the car is then put on the flatbed truck and taken to the Keys towing lot.
Oh, that went pretty well.
The car is put in the lot. David waits for call number 18.
You gotta be real careful out here, that's for sure.
Now, David says he believes that the calls will come in again overnight because once this snow freezes up, the roads are going to be very slippery.